Which is the bigger loss? Is it J.J. Watt or is it Davante Adams?
Yeah, Ross, I'm going to have to go with Davante Adams. And you talk about the chemistry that he has with Aaron Rodgers, one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the National Football League. And when you talk about the Green Bay Packers, particularly on the offense, I mean, this is a guy that Aaron Rodgers counts on the most in the passing game to make those explosive plays. They're also going to be without Alan Lazard as well. So you're talking about two of their top players. But listen, as great as we talk about Aaron Rodgers, when you take away pieces like that from the Green Bay Packers, man, that's going to limit what the Packers like to do, particularly through the air. We know they have Aaron Jones, who, without Davante Adams, he's averaged like 125 scrimmage yards per game. But anytime you're taking away a big-time receiver like Davante Adams, it's going to be a huge, huge miss for Aaron Rodgers in that offense. So I'm going with Davante Adams.
I'm not going to answer this question yet because I still can't get over when Roz said to you, Wood, it's so nice to see you. You responded with, I know. It wasn't anything like, anything you two. It was like, I know, it's so nice to see me.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Were you just on auto mode? Oh, by the way, Dan, it's nice to see you as well. You know that?
It's great to see you as well, Roz. It's, I'm kind of in this complimentary mode as well, and unlike Wood. But listen, Davante's a great player. I think the J.J. Watt injury is huge tonight. J.J. Watt is the best player on the number one defense in the NFL. The Cardinals have the best defense in football through the first 7 weeks of this season, and he has been their best player. He's created more pressures than anybody on their defense. He's equaled 11 incompletions, whether it's pressure on the quarterback or batting the football down. And the Cardinals defense is really good at a lot of things. Wood, you know this.
Yep.
But one of the things they're not great at is stopping the run. Specifically, as me in an offense, if I put two tight ends on the football field and I want to run the ball, they're not great at stopping the run. You know who's their best run defender? J.J. Watt. So now the Cardinals lose their best run defender. They arguably lose their best pass rusher this season. Chandler Jones has missed some time. I think this is a huge loss. Davante Adams is an important piece, but in the past couple of years, the Packers are 6-0 without Davante Adams, while averaging 33 points a game. This offense is built upon touches. Lazard being out is a big conversation, yes, but Robert Tunyon's still going to have a good game. Aaron Jones is still going to have a good game. Amari Rodgers, their third-round draft pick from Clemson, this is the moment where he steps forward and has a big game. A.J. Dillon, their second-round pick from last year, he's going to get more touches. Let's see if MVS or Equinemius St. Brown steps up at the wide receiver spot. I think the J.J. Watt injury is huge tonight because if I'm Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers, or I'm Nathaniel Hackett, their offensive coordinator, you guys are going to get a heavy dose of the run game tonight. And now that your best player is out, he's the strength of your weakness. I think J.J. Watt totally swings this football game. Before this news, I would have thought, man, I don't know how Green Bay could win this game. I think Green Bay now has a better chance to win this football game significantly because J.J. Watt is not playing in this game.
Well, listen, Dan, I'm not here to say that to minimize what J.J. Watt brings to the table as far as the Arizona Cardinals is concerned. I actually think that J.J. Watt counts more in the latter part of the season because this Arizona Cardinals team is a young team. I think that's why they brought in a J.J. Watt, A.J. Green to help those guys, show those guys how to be professionals and help them finish, because that's really been the issue with the Arizona Cardinals down the stretch is finishing. And I think that's what J.J. Watt's, where he would truly have an impact on the Arizona Cardinals. But again, when I look at Davante Adams and what he brings to the table, especially going up against this Arizona Cardinals defense, Dan, like we've seen all season, this Arizona Cardinals defense has been really, really good. They've been really, really good. As much as we talk about Kyler Murray and all the weapons that they have on offense, their defense has been playing really, really well. And you take away their key receiver on the outside, Davante Adams. Yes, I know about Aaron Jones. I know they're going to have to, run the ball more with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But that's also going to make them a little bit more one-dimensional, in my opinion, because, Tunyon is a guy that's featured more in the red zone. He's not, really the guy that has been that dependable between the 20s. He's more been like eating in the red zone. That's where he's been eating a lot for the Green Bay Packers. Now they're going to have to step up his role in that manner if they're going to go, going up against the Arizona Cardinals. But I just think that Davante Adams being out, That's a huge blow for the Green Bay Packers in this game.
Doesn't the fact that they're 6-0 without him over the past couple of years matter? And I know Alan Lazard was part of those games, and he had kind of big games in his absence, but they're 6-0 without him. We have data, we have evidence, we have tape that shows that they know how to overcome because of their offensive line, because of their scheme. You talked about the Cardinals' defense being so good this year in comparison to last year, and they were getting better on the back half of last year, but the fundamental difference, at least player-wise, on this defense this year is J.J. Watt. Like, Isaiah Simmons is in his second year, and he's definitely upped his play, and Zaven Collins, their first-round pick, has played, but J.J. Watt's the real addition that has played a ton of snaps for this defense, that has transitioned it from the beginning of last year being a poor defense to the middle last year being a improving defense to now they're the number one defense in football, and he is their best player. That is an enormous loss for a football team. We have proof that the Packers are able to overcome playing a game without Davante because of all their pieces and because of their big fellas up front and because of their quarterback. We have no proof that this defense can still be the best defense in football without J.J. Watt.
Well, Dan, I'm just talking about listen, yes, we know about the stat of 6-0, but I'm talking as it relates to going up against this Arizona Cardinals defense and how good they have been. Taking away Aaron Rodgers' number one threat, again, that's going to be huge going up against this defense because the secondary is playing some pretty good football. And yes, J.J. Watt coming out, not being available, is definitely going to affect them as far as pass rushing capability. But I'm going to say it again. Davante Adams, not having Davante Adams against this Arizona Cardinals defense, I think it's going to make them a little bit more one-dimensional as far as the Green Bay Packers. We're going to see more of those two, being reliant on those two backs in the backfield. And let's see if the Arizona Cardinals can figure that out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.